What's going on, everyone? So back on February 23rd against the Golden State Warriors, D'Angelo Russell ended up hurting his ankle, and it was a grade 2 high ankle sprain, and he has missed ever since. And we could really use D'Angelo Russell. We've kind of been able to weather the storm so far without him. Dennis Schroeder has stepped up into that primary playmaker role. You've had Austin Reeves kind of played that secondary role, and it's been rough at times, but for the most part, again, we've been able to kind of weather this storm. We've won several games, but regardless, D'Angelo Russell, his impact, what he can provide to this team as a playmaker, as a ball handler, and a scorer would just be hugely beneficial for this team. And so the hope is that he will be back sooner rather than later. Well, luckily, we ended up getting an update today. So per Dave McMillan, D'Angelo Russell is listed as questionable for tomorrow's game versus Memphis, upgraded from doubtful. He's missed the Lakers' last 5 games with an ankle sprain. So again, he was doubtful for the Memphis Grizzlies game, has been upgraded to questionable. Now, this doesn't mean that he will play tomorrow. That's something I want to stress. It's very possible that if he's feeling some soreness, they might not play him. They might just sit him and rest him. That is a real possibility, especially against Memphis. No no Brandon Clark, no Steven Adams. They might look at it as like, we have enough to beat this team without D'Lo. Let's let him get some extra rest. And to kind of further add to this, is we did get this report, John Ireland, who says he heard that D'Angelo Russell still feels pain in his lateral movement, and the Lakers want him to be pain-free before he returns. Again, doesn't mean that he won't play. Maybe he comes back. Maybe he plays on a minute restriction. Maybe it's something along those lines. But ideally, we could use him back. Even if he just comes back and plays 10 minutes, right? Like, that would be huge. Not just that, but I would like him to come back because he's going to need a game or two to kind of get back into the flow of things. You know, he's set the last 2 weeks, right? And he's going to go from sitting to all of a sudden being thrusted into the starting point guard role. And look, he's very talented. He's a guy, again, 3-level scorer, playmaker, all of those things, right? But we're going to need him to play a much bigger role now that we don't have LeBron James. And he's going to need to kind of get his legs back underneath him, which it would be nice to kind of go into that Grizzly game with that, because then that's a game that I think even if he is struggling a little bit, his playmaking is still going to be hugely beneficial, but that's still a game that I think we can win, even if D'Lo does have a little, sort of a rough go at it. Because our next 2 games are against the Toronto Raptors and the New York Knicks, who the Knicks have been the hottest team in the league the last couple weeks. I mean, they're on like a 9-game win streak, but they'll be coming off of back-to-back. We could use that win. We really need to win this homestand, right? We have several more games at home, and we need to go out and get these wins as a very important for us going forward. Luckily, teams ahead of us continue to lose, and we need that to happen. The Pelicans, as we're recording this video, are midway through the 4th quarter, and they're down 20. So they're going to lose that game. That should drop them out. Jazz, they have the tiebreaker on us, but they're going to continue to lose games. Not really worried about them. And we play them twice towards the end of the season. So I imagine we jump the Utah Jazz. Portland has a grueling schedule coming up. They might lose their next 6-7 games. That's how tough their schedule is. So this is a real opportunity for us to jump ahead. And if we can beat these, the Grizzlies, the Knicks, the Raptors, the Pelicans, all of these teams, we're just going to be in a really good spot, and we can kind of inch closer to maybe that 6 seed, at worst, hopefully that 7-8 seed. That would be ideal. Right now, we're only, we're 2 games out of the 7th seed. We're 2.5 games out of the 6th seed. And these are the games we need. We need D'Angelo Russell to be back to do that. His ability to just take pressure off of Anthony Davis and be that consistent scorer. That's been the problem, is consistency. Having who's that other guy consistently night in and night out. The games we've had a collective effort, right? Where you have 4, 5, 6 guys outside of Anthony Davis being double figures. We win those games, right? Like, look at the Warriors game. We had 6 guys in double figures. But can we consistently have that? D'Lo just takes some of that pressure away. A guy that can give you 15 to 20 night in and night out. And on top of that, he's a guy that if you need him to, is capable of going and getting 30, right? Can operate and shoot and get you a bucket in the mid-range. Can operate and knock down the 3-ball, right? A guy that can get to the hoop, can play make and set up others. A guy that he looked like he was having a good connection with Anthony Davis. That's going to make Anthony Davis's job a lot easier because he's going to be able to get Anthony Davis and put Anthony Davis in positions to where he's going to be able to be more effective. Again, I'm not saying D'Angelo Russell is Chris Paul or anything like that as far as playmaking goes, but he is a better playmaker than anybody that we have and is a good playmaker. This is a guy that can go get you 20 and 8 a game, 20 and 6 a game. I can see him doing that, and we're going to need him to do that. Not to mention the pressure he's going to take off of like Malik Beasley. Malik Beasley with Dennis Schroeder, he's had to work double time to try to get shots. Like so many people are like, he's not taking as many threes. He's not doing it because teams are just honing in on him, basically just sticking to him like glue. And he's having to run around like a madman to try to get open to get a shot. And he's got just such a small window. D'Angelo Russell's ability to create and draw defenses and get guys in position to where he's going to be able to get better looks, that's going to be huge. That is something we're really going to need. Everybody is going to thrive and be better. Not just that, but it puts everybody in a more balanced position. Now, Dennis Schroeder, instead of Dennis Schroeder having to come in and, be the starting point guard and his decision-making at times and, him having to be consistent, he can do that now off the bench where he's best suited off the bench as that bench 6-man point guard role. His flaws aren't as detrimental when he's coming off the bench, and his strengths are just that much better. And on top of that, his production is going to be more impactful because now if he goes and gives you 15, it's not as the second guy on the team. It's as the 6th guy on the team, right? So now if he gives you 15 and you got D'Lo who's giving you, 15 to 20, all of a sudden that's going to have that much more of an impact. D'Lo just allows guys to get back into their natural position, brings natural order back into everything, brings that balance. So we really need D'Angelo Russell back. And hopefully it's that Grizzlies game. Because again, I'd like him to get a game or two under his belt, kind of get the rust off, and just be able to kind of, get into the flow of things before we go and play, some of these tougher teams. Look, not trying to take anything away from Memphis Grizzlies. The Grizzlies are absolutely still a good team without Ja Morant. They are. They're a team that, if I'm not mistaken, have a winning record without Ja Morant. I don't know about this year, but I think in general, since this team has been put together, I believe they have a winning record. Last year, they were really good without Ja Morant. But regardless, we can't overestimate them. Still, I think this is a game, or underestimate them, but still, I think this is a game that we can absolutely win, even with D'Lo, if he's having a little struggles as he's trying to get his feet under him. And then after that, we got the Raptors, the Knicks, the Pelicans, the Rockets, the Mavericks, the Magic, and the Suns. That's really tough. But again, we have, seven or eight of our next 10 are at home. We got the Grizzlies, the Raptors, the Knicks, the the Grizzlies, the Raptors, the Knicks. Then you have the Mavericks, the Magic, the Suns, the Thunder, and the Bulls. That is 8 out of our next 10. Our only 2 road games are against the Pelicans and the Rockets, both of those games in which we should win. We could realistically, if D'Lo gets back, we could beat the Grizzlies. I think we could beat the Raptors, beat the Knicks, beat the Pelicans, beat the Rockets. That's at least 5. That's 5 straight wins plus the Warriors game. That's a 6-game win streak. That is huge. That's 7 out of our last 8 if that happens. We would be over 500 going into that Dallas Mavericks game at home. Right? And then we have the Mavericks, the Magic, and the Suns. That the Suns are going to be tough, no doubt. Magic, I think we should win. And then the Mavericks, I think we should win. But, we did have that huge comeback win against the Mavericks, so I imagine that they're going to want that sort of revenge game at home. But still, let's say we lose to the Mavericks. We beat the Magic. We're still 2 games over 500 going into that Suns game. Let's say we lose to the Suns game. Okay, we're a game over 500. Well, then we have the Thunder, the Bulls, the Timberwolves, the Rockets, the Jazz. That's another 6 straight games we can win with D'Lo. And at that point, we might have LeBron back. Like, I just think we're in a really good position, but we need D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell is going to be huge for this Lakers team. His impact is just, it's really going to help. It's going to help a lot. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think, yes, let's get D'Lo back? He's the piece we need, and we can get off to the races? Do you think, no, we're still going to need more? We're still going to be in trouble? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Love to hear it. Let me know down in